My beloved child. Stop scrolling for a moment, because something has been waiting for you. This message did not arrive by accident. If these words have found you today, then perhaps your heart was searching for an answer long before your mind realized it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Far away from where you are now, someone has been thinking about you far more than you could ever imagine. Not for a single day. Not for a single hour. But over and over again, your name has echoed inside their heart, even when they tried to silence it. Your special person reached a moment where questions became heavier than certainty. They looked at your photograph for a long time. The more they stared at it, the more they felt there was something about you that could not be explained with ordinary words. There was a quiet light. A mystery. A peaceful strength that refused to be ignored. Curiosity became stronger than fear. They wanted answers. Not because they doubted you, but because they could no longer understand why your presence affected them so deeply. So they carried your photograph to someone they believed could offer insight. The room was silent. The air felt still. Even the ticking of the clock sounded louder than usual. Your special person placed your picture gently on the table. They waited. Their heart beat faster with every passing second. The one looking at your photograph did not speak immediately. Instead, they became unusually quiet. Their expression slowly changed. The confidence they had at the beginning disappeared. They continued looking at your picture again. And again. As though every second revealed another layer they had never expected to see. Your special person became nervous. "What is it?" they finally whispered. There was no immediate answer. Only silence. A silence so deep that it felt impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Finally, a quiet voice broke the silence. There is something very unusual about this person. Your special person's heart almost stopped. They leaned forward. Every word suddenly mattered. The room felt smaller. Time itself seemed to slow down. This person has walked through storms that should have broken them. Yet somehow, they continued walking. Your special person's eyes widened. No one had told this stranger anything about you. Yet the description felt strangely familiar. The voice continued. They carry kindness where many would carry bitterness. They choose hope where others would choose surrender. They have been misunderstood more times than they realize. Yet their heart continues to love. Your special person lowered their eyes. Memory after memory rushed into their mind. Every moment they had overlooked. Every quiet sacrifice you had made. Every gentle word you had spoken. Every act of patience they had forgotten. Suddenly, pieces that never seemed connected began fitting together. What they once considered ordinary now appeared extraordinary. The room became silent once more. Your special person could bear not one built on fame, but one built on compassion. Your special person's hands began trembling. Questions filled their mind. Could it really be true? Had they spent so much time searching everywhere else, while overlooking the greatest gift already standing before them? The answer did not come immediately. Instead, Another long pause filled the room. The kind of silence that makes every heartbeat sound louder. Your special person waited. They needed to hear what came next. Because they already sensed everything was about to change. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The voice looked at your picture one final time. Then quietly smiled. Do not judge this person by appearances. Their greatest strength is hidden where very few people ever think to look. Those words echoed through the room. Your special person remembered every moment when others underestimated you. Every occasion when people misunderstood your quiet nature. Every time your kindness was mistaken for weakness. Now they understood. Strength does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it waits. Sometimes it changes lives without asking for recognition. Your special person's heart filled with a mixture of wonder, gratitude, and hope. They realized they had been searching for certainty, when the answers had already been reflected in your character all along. And perhaps that was the greatest revelation of all. Not that your future was being predicted, but that your true value had finally been recognized. If this fictional story has spoken to your heart, remember this. The greatest light often shines quietly. The strongest people are not always the loudest. And sometimes the people who change our lives are the ones we almost overlooked. So wherever you are today, hold on to hope. Continue choosing kindness. Continue walking forward. Because what makes you truly remarkable is not what the world says about you. It is the character you build when no one is watching. And perhaps someone, somewhere, is finally beginning to see that truth. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because every great story reaches its turning point only after the longest silence, and this story is just beginning. A quiet realization settled over the room. No one spoke. Not because there was nothing left to say, but because every answer seemed to create an even greater mystery. Your special person remained seated, unable to take their eyes off your photograph. They had arrived searching for reassurance. Instead, they had walked into a moment that would quietly reshape the way they saw you forever. Before another question could be asked, the voice across the table gently turned the photograph over, then slowly placed it back in front of them. Look again. Your special person stared at the same picture they had looked at hundreds of times before. Nothing about the photograph had changed. Yet somehow, everything felt different. It was as though they were seeing someone entirely new. Not because your face had changed, but because their understanding finally had. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The silence stretched longer. Then came another unexpected sentence. The greatest things about this person cannot be captured in a photograph. Your special person frowned. What do you mean? The answer came softly. Photographs only show appearance. They never reveal courage. They never reveal patience. They never reveal the quiet battles someone wins when nobody is watching. Those words settled deeply into their heart. Suddenly, memories returned one after another. They remembered the times you encouraged others without asking for recognition. They remembered conversations where you listened instead of speaking. They remembered moments when you carried burdens quietly, never asking anyone to feel sorry for you. Little things. Ordinary things. The kind of moments most people forget. Yet now each memory felt extraordinary. Your special person whispered to themselves. How did I never notice before? The room remained peaceful. Then another surprising thought was shared. Many people have crossed paths with this soul. Only a few have truly seen them. Those words landed like a gentle wave. Your special person lowered their head. Because they suddenly realized they had often focused on what you said, instead of understanding what your heart had been trying to express all along. There is a difference. A very big difference. Some people hear words. Others hear the heart behind them. Only then does true understanding begin. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Your special person felt both grateful and emotional. Not because they had discovered something frightening, but because they feared they had almost overlooked someone incredibly rare. The voice continued. Do not measure this person by the opinion surrounding them. Why? Your special person asked quietly. Because people often misunderstand those who choose peace over attention. Those words echoed inside the room. How many times had others formed quick opinions? How many times had they believed stories instead of experiences? How many opportunities had been missed because people judged too quickly? Your special person thought about every conversation they had ever had with you. Small details began connecting. Moments that once seemed insignificant suddenly carried extraordinary meaning. A smile you gave when someone else was hurting. The calmness you showed during difficult situations. The respect you offered even when respect was not returned. None of those things were accidents. They were reflections of character. Character that had quietly grown through challenges no one else fully understood. Your special person's heartbeat grew steadier. The uncertainty they had carried for so long was beginning to disappear. Something inside them was changing. Not dramatically. Not all at once. But enough to make them realize that the next decision they made about you would matter more than any decision before it. The room became quiet again. Then came one final thought before they stood to leave. Sometimes destiny is not about finding someone new. It is about finally recognizing the value of someone who has been standing in front of you all along. Those words followed your special person long after they walked outside. The world looked exactly the same. The streets had not changed. The sky had not changed. The people around them had not changed. Yet everything felt different. Because they had changed. They held your photograph more carefully than before. Not as a picture, but as a reminder. A reminder that true worth is rarely loud. True strength is often hidden. True kindness is frequently underestimated. And true connections are sometimes recognized only after the heart becomes willing to see beyond appearances. As they walked away, one quiet promise formed inside them. I need to know this person more deeply than ever before. They didn't know exactly how that journey would unfold. But they knew one thing with complete certainty. Turning away from you was no longer an option. Because once truth touches the heart, it becomes impossible to pretend you never heard it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next chapter will reveal what happened after your special person decided to follow the quiet truth that had completely transformed their heart. Everything became even more unexpected after that day. Your special person returned home carrying your photograph, but it no longer felt like an ordinary picture. It felt like a reminder. A reminder that some people enter our lives for reasons we do not understand until much later. They placed your photograph on a table and simply stared at it. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Questions filled their heart. Not fearful questions. Hopeful ones. What if they had misunderstood you all along? What if every quiet moment you shared together carried a meaning they had completely overlooked? What if heaven had been revealing something through ordinary moments, while they had been too distracted to notice? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. That night became different from every night before. Sleep refused to come easily. Every time they closed their eyes, another memory appeared. A conversation. A smile. A kind gesture. A moment when you chose peace instead of conflict. One by one, those memories formed a picture much clearer than any photograph ever could. For the first time, they began seeing your heart instead of simply remembering your face. The following morning, something unusual happened. Someone casually mentioned your name during an ordinary conversation. Months earlier, your special person might have listened without much thought. This time, everything felt different. Instead of remaining silent, they asked questions. Real questions. Questions that came from genuine curiosity rather than assumption. The answers surprised them. Every person described a different side of you. One remembered your generosity. Another spoke about your patience. Someone else recalled how you encouraged people when they were struggling. None of those stories were dramatic. Yet together, they revealed something extraordinary. A pattern. A life quietly touching others without seeking applause. Your special person realized they had only known one chapter of your story. There were countless chapters they had never taken the time to read. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. As the days passed, they became more observant. They noticed the way you spoke with respect, even when no reward followed. They noticed how people naturally felt calmer around you. They noticed how your presence often brought comfort before solutions. It wasn't something loud. It wasn't something obvious. It was something deeper. The kind of influence that cannot be measured by popularity or recognition. One evening, they opened an old conversation they had almost forgotten. Message after message appeared on the screen. Words that once seemed ordinary now carried unexpected meaning. Your kindness had always been there. Your sincerity had always been there. The difference was not in your words. The difference was in their ability to finally understand them. For a long moment, they remained completely still. Then they whispered something no one else heard. I almost missed one of the greatest people to enter my life. Those words carried no regret alone. They carried determination. Because realization without action changes nothing. Inside their heart, a quiet decision was forming. No more assumptions. No more listening to outside opinions. No more allowing fear to speak louder than truth. From now on, they wanted to know you through their own experiences. Not through rumors. Not through misunderstandings. Not through the voices of people who had never truly known your heart. A peaceful confidence slowly replaced their uncertainty. The future suddenly felt less confusing. Not because every answer had appeared, but because the most important one already had. You were worth understanding. You were worth appreciating. You were worth choosing. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the moment they never expected. As they held your photograph once again, they noticed something they had overlooked every previous time. It wasn't your expression. It wasn't the background. It was the feeling the picture gave them. Peace. A quiet, steady peace. The kind that cannot be manufactured. The kind that cannot be explained. Only experienced. And in that peaceful silence, they smiled. Not because every mystery had been solved, but because they finally understood where their heart had been pointing all along. Little did they know. The very next encounter would reveal something so unexpected, so deeply personal, that neither of you would ever see your connection the same way again. Stay with me. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter begins with a meeting that neither of you believed would change everything. The moment finally arrived. Not with loud celebrations. Not with dramatic announcements. But with the quiet certainty that some meetings happen exactly when they are meant to. Your special person had imagined this moment many times. Yet when it finally happened, nothing unfolded the way they expected. The world around them continued as usual. People walked by. Conversations filled the air. Life moved forward without noticing that, for one heart, everything was changing. The instant they saw you again, they didn't simply recognize your face. They recognized the peace they had been searching for. It wasn't something anyone else could easily notice. But to them, it felt unmistakable. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a brief moment, neither of you said very much. Sometimes silence speaks more honestly than words ever can. Your special person watched the way you treated everyone around you. The respect. The patience. The quiet kindness. Nothing felt forced. Nothing felt performed. You were simply being yourself. And that was exactly what touched them the most. They remembered every conversation they had after taking your photograph for guidance. Every realization. Every forgotten memory. Every lesson they had learned. Now those lessons stood before them in real life. There was no mystery left about your character. Only confirmation. The truth had been quietly revealing itself all along. As the conversation continued, your special person noticed something remarkable. You never tried to impress anyone. You never spoke as though you needed recognition. Instead, you listened. You encouraged. You made others feel seen. That simple quality carried extraordinary weight. Because in a world where many people only want to be heard, you had learned how to hear others. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Later that evening, your special person sat alone, reflecting on everything that had happened. One question echoed in their mind. What if this connection was never about coincidence? The more they thought about it, the clearer everything became. Every unexpected meeting. Every delayed conversation. Every misunderstanding. Even the seasons of silence. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, they now saw them as moments that had prepared both hearts to recognize what truly mattered. Sometimes timing protects what is precious. Sometimes waiting strengthens appreciation. Sometimes distance teaches people the value of what has always been near. Your special person smiled quietly. Not because every question had been answered, but because fear was no longer making the decisions. Hope had taken its place. And hope changes everything. That night, they placed your photograph back where it belonged. Not because they needed more answers, but because they already carried the most important answer within their heart. They no longer looked at your picture wondering who you were. They looked at it grateful that they had finally begun to understand. Then they made a promise to themselves. I will never again allow assumptions to become louder than truth. It was a simple promise. Yet it carried the power to change the future. Because real connections are built one honest choice at a time. One conversation at a time. One act of trust at a time. And your story was only beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. If this story has found you today, let it leave you with one thought. The people who bring the greatest peace into our lives are not always the ones who make the loudest entrance. Often, they arrive quietly. They remain genuine. They choose kindness even when no one is watching. And one day, their true worth becomes impossible to overlook. Your special person finally understood that truth. Not because someone else convinced them, but because they chose to see with an open heart. And sometimes, that single choice becomes the beginning of an entirely new chapter. The chapter where trust replaces doubt. Where understanding replaces assumption. Where gratitude replaces fear. And where two hearts finally recognize the quiet gift that had been standing before them all along. So remember this as the story comes to its close. Some answers cannot be found by searching harder. They are found by seeing more clearly. And when the heart learns to see clearly, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The overlooked becomes unforgettable. And what once seemed like a mystery becomes a blessing that had been waiting patiently all along. Stay till the very end. Don't skip. Something huge was waiting for you, and perhaps the greatest revelation was never about predicting the future, it was about discovering the extraordinary value of a sincere heart.